Yeshua said that there were two sons, and this was a parable. And he said the first son was asked by his father to go and do something. And the first son said, no, no, I'm not going to do that. Mm-mm. So he goes to the second son. The second son says, oh, yeah, you got it, Dad. I'm right on it. But he didn't do it. The first son, after considering it, says, yeah, I should go do that. And he does. And Yeshua asked the question, which son did the Father's will? And that's how, that's how we need to be, is to have that relationship and not give him lip service. And hopefully not to say no, but the thing is that something in our hearts will say no. A lot of times, there's always something. There's always matters in our hearts where they just say no. And if we are in denial about that and we don't deal with them, I'm not here to tell you you're wrecking your relationship with God and you should feel so terrible and that's the sinful nature and you'll never get over it as long as you're in the flesh. And no, come on. No, stop it. Stop it. A lot of times we say things that are truthful and they're true, but they mislead us because they're not really the whole story. And I think it's more important to just look at it and go, okay, this is the way it is. Okay, it is. Sometimes we just need to be honest with God and say, struggling with this, God, struggling with it. The Father gave me a heart that forgives pretty readily. But life kept getting more and more difficult, and there were harder and harder things to forgive. And he was teaching me that if I'm going to teach other people about forgiveness, I need to know how it is to forgive when it's difficult. So he let me see what it looked like to be difficult. And, you should never let the thought enter your mind that there's a sin you won't do, that there's a place you won't go, or that you're just all perfected, or well, I don't have to worry about that, because I'm telling you, that's opening the door to the enemy. Just come right in and go, oh, really? You got this figured out? Let me test you. And the enemy will test you. And I got good news for you. It won't sound like good news, but it's good news. The Father will let him. The Father will let the enemy test you. He'll let you sift you like wheat. He'll let him sift you like wheat. And that's where you have to trust him. And that's, that's part of coming to that faith and that trust in the Father. And, if I was to bring this full circle to what I was originally talking about, it's a little difficult, but all things are, I believe all things are connected, just so we can kind of wrap up this video without it getting too long. And it's difficult to talk about one thing without talking about other things. I'll just be honest with you. But, being true to who you are and honoring that honors the Father. And, don't look at your attributes as setbacks or limitations. You are limited, you're mortal. You are limited, you're human, you're made in God's image, you are not God. And we, if we're going to compare ourselves to God, we need to do it constructively. And we need to trust him that he knew what he was doing. And a lot of times we may not realize it, but we don't seem to trust him because we say, well, this is how I am, God. And, maybe we'll say, yeah, God, you made me this way, so how can you judge me? Which is foolishness. But it's also foolish to say, oh, this is sin. Well, no, every sin, and here's another thing, It's a whole nother video I can make. But every sin has its root in something good. The enemy can't go against how God made you and create something. The enemy is not creative. You know, he's just a copycat and a liar and a thief and a destroyer. And so he uses the things of God to destroy. And so if you struggle with a sin, that sin is rooted in something good in you. I know, crazy concept, right? But it is, it's true. Every single sin you have is rooted in something good, but it's twisted, it's distorted. It's being worked against you instead of for you. So keep that in mind. Find the root. When you see something and you say, well, this is how I am, find the good root that God put, that good soil, that good thing that God expected to be a good foundation for you. And instead of trying to work against it and overcome your own design, trust the Father and diligently seek Him on how to do the good that you were put here to do.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.